So both articles we provided you contain the answer, but let's just take a look at one of the articles. So Joanna's blog post here. Now in this first section, she explains about audio focus. And further down here, she says that you can request the audio focus from the audio manager class. And she provided a link to the method that we can call to request audio focus. So let's navigate there. So here's the request audio focus method in the Android documentation. Now let's go back to the blog post. In that same sentence, she provides a link on how to release audio focus when you're done playing the sound. And that takes us to the abandon audio focus method within the audio manager class. Alright, so we've answered the first two questions so far. We can request audio focus from the Android system by calling the audio manager's request audio focus method, and then we can play our audio. When we're immediately done playing audio, we can release audio focus by calling the abandon audio focus method in the audio manager class. Now note that these two methods do have input parameters that you'll need to pass in, but you can check that in the documentation later when we actually need to use these methods. Alright, so on to the third question of what callback should we implement so that we can get notified when the audio focus changes for our app. An example of this case is if a phone call comes in, then we need to adjust our audio playback accordingly. Now back in the blog post, in the same paragraph, it explains that the system may need to temporarily or permanently take the audio focus away from our app. And so for that, we need to create an instance of the on audio focus change listener to listen for these changes on the device so that we can react to them. So let's navigate to the on audio focus change listener interface. So on audio focus change listener is another interface, just like other interfaces that we've used, like on click listener and the media player's on completion listener interface. So notice that it contains one abstract method that we'll need to implement. So we need to provide code on what to do when the audio focus changes. So for example, if we lose audio focus, we should probably stop playing the pronunciation of the word in our app. And we could figure out the details of how to handle audio focus changes later. Alright, so back to the third quiz question. In order to be notified of changes in audio focus, we need to create an on audio focus change listener. And then we need to implement the on audio focus change callback method.